Hey, Paul, are you there? Do you think that we can talk a little right now?
What is it? What do you want from me this time?
I take it that you're still upset then.
What are you talking about? Just what is it that you even think I'm so upset about, huh?
Well, about the fight that you and I had last night, right? I mean, I thought that we were able to talk things through, but I guess you're still upset?
And so what if I am? What business is it of yours, huh? Can you just tell me what you want so that I can get back to my day already? I don't have time to waste on conversations like these.
Well, I want to talk. I want to solve this issue so that we can go back to the way things were. Because right now, I feel like we're just still fighting and nothing's been solved.
So that's what you want then? You just want things to go back to the way they were? Fine, then if that's what you really want, then you can go ahead and apologize to me. And after that, you can just leave me alone for the rest of the day. How does that sound?
But I don't get it. Why should I have to apologize to you? I mean, do you even remember the reason that you and I were fighting in the first place?
I just remembered that you got into one of your moods all of a sudden. Then you were all acting all pissy towards me, and so I said something, and that's when we started fighting.
You've got to be kidding me. Is that really what you think happened between us? You really don't remember at all what the fight was about, do you?
What are you talking about this time?
I mean that you promised me that you were going to come over yesterday, don't you remember? You said that you were really craving pie, and I said that I would bake one for you if you would come over and eat it with me. But then hours later, you told me that you were out with friends and too busy, and that's why I got mad at you.
Well, did I promise that I'd be there? Because I never ever remember saying anything like that.
But you did. You said it the last time that you and I were together. Do you really not remember saying that to me at all?
I don't know, I was drunk. I don't remember anything of that at all. I was probably just saying whatever I thought you wanted to hear, but I didn't mean it.
But I don't get it. I mean, it would have been a date. You really don't think I'd take something like that seriously? I really don't get why you're being so stubborn about apologizing to me about this.
Told you that I shouldn't have to. You just got all mad at me all of a sudden over nothing. If this is what you were mad about, then you should have said something earlier. Otherwise, it's like you just suddenly turned on me and I had no idea what any of it was about.
Okay then, I am sorry, Paul. I'm sorry that I didn't explain what I was mad about to you more clearly earlier. But I just feel like you've been acting a bit flaky and have been maybe brushing me off recently. And then you always just try to laugh it off or pretend like it's never your fault afterwards. So I guess I'm just feeling pulled about without getting any real answers as to what's going on, you know?
Okay, I understand what you're saying and I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention to make you feel that way.
I just mean that we're going to be getting married, you know? But despite that, I still feel like you and I are fighting more than ever these days. Does that make sense?
I see, so that's what's bothering you about all this. Well then, what if we just call off the wedding entirely?
Paul, please, I really don't think a joke like that is appropriate at a time like this. I mean, we're not really going to let some tiny little spat like this ruin our whole marriage, are you?
Yeah, sure. I joke. I guess I just wanted to see how you would react to me saying that is all.
Well, we've been together for 5 years now, so I think it's going to take a little more than this to get rid of me. But anyways, I guess next weekend we're finally going to go to your parents and tell them that we're getting married. I'm just glad that we'll be there for each other. I'm so nervous just thinking about doing it. So I would just really like it if we could put all this behind us and look forward to doing that.
Yeah, you're right. It would be better if we could just put this all behind us. But I just worry that these kinds of fights are going to continue between us.
They might, but I think as long as we can take the time to talk out our issues and move past them in a healthy way, that we'll be okay. I mean, that's better than holding in a bunch of angry feelings until we let them come out towards each other.
Well, I just hope that we're actually able to get back to being the way we were and that we can move past this stuff. Because if I'm being honest with you, I'm still pretty upset about the whole thing.
Well, if you're really that upset over this, then maybe we should put off making the announcement to your parents. At least until we feel that we're in a good place in our relationship to do so.
Hey, Nicole, where are you? You said that you were going to be here about 5 minutes ago now. You don't want to be late to telling my parents that we're going to get married, right?
Paul, I'm so sorry. I don't think that I'm going to be able to make it today.
Oh, wait, what? Are you serious? You're really not gonna make it on time? What happened? Did you oversleep or something like that?
Well, I was actually already on my way over to meet you, but as I was coming out of the subway, I fell down some stairs. I think I really hurt my leg, and so I called the ambulance, and I'm at the hospital right now having my leg looked at. They're pretty sure that I broke something in there, though.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Did you really want to get out of doing this so badly that you literally threw yourself down some stairs?
They're saying that I might have to stay in the hospital for a while. So I'm sorry, but I just won't be able to make it today on time. But please, tell your mom and dad how sorry I am and that I never saw this coming, but that I really wish I could be there.
You have no idea how hard it was for me to move around my schedule to fit this in. And now you're telling me that it's not even going to be happening?
I really am sorry, Paul. I'm not any happier about this than you are. I hope you know that.
Is that why you're wasting my parents' time as well then? Don't you realize how much trouble you're causing for all of us? I mean, it's probably just a little sprain and you're seriously just going to wait around the hospital all day?
I really am sorry about this, Paul. I swear. I really did want to go and talk to your parents today, and I never thought this was going to happen.
If you really mean that, then why don't you leave the hospital and come over to see us right now? I mean, do you really need to show a little backbone so that my parents can see that you're really serious about this? Or do you really think so little about our marriage together that you can't even do that for me?
Paul, please. I really don't think that I can do anything like that right now. I mean, my leg just got broken. And I've already been checked into the hospital, so it's not like I can just walk out of here, you know?
Wow. So that you're really just not going to come at all then? That's what you're telling me?
It's not that I don't want to go and be there with you all. It's that I literally just broke my leg. You know that, right? You know that I didn't do this on purpose and that I want to be there with you so badly, right? You don't actually think that I'm just faking or being overdramatic, do you? You know that I wouldn't do something like that.
Well, what in the world am I supposed to tell my parents about this, huh? I mean, why are you leaving it up to me to explain to them why you're wasting all of our time here?
Do you really think that your mom and dad would be that upset with me over this? I mean, the times I've met them, they seem like really understanding people. I'm sure they wouldn't mind too much, right?
You really can be so stupid sometimes. Do you know that? You've made a huge mistake by doing this. Of course my parents are going to be mad about this. They're probably going to be furious about this.
You don't need to talk to me that way, Paul. I mean, people get injured and have to cancel on things all the time. I don't really get how it's as big of a deal as you're making it out to be. Besides, it's not like I did this on purpose or anything like that.
I don't care why you did it. The fact of the matter is that you were the one who fell down the stairs, weren't you?
Well, yes, I know what I did and I accept responsibility for it. But right before I fell, I swear I felt something hit me in the back and that's what sent me flying. I just lost my balance and then I ended up falling after that.
What on earth are you talking about now? You probably just got bumped by someone's backpack or something. But if you don't know how to keep your own balance, then that sounds like a you problem.
How can you say that? I don't understand why you're being so cruel right now. I mean, I'm in the hospital and you don't seem worried at all for me. I would think that you would at least know better than to try and make an injured person feel even worse about themselves.
Oh, right. Are you okay?
It's a bit late for that now, don't you think? Look, Paul, I think the fact of the matter is that I just won't be able to make it today, so please, give your parents my best and tell them that I'm very sorry for all of this. I'll message you again when I have some updates from the doctors.
Hey, Nicole, how are things going at the hospital? Do you think that we could call right now? I have some big news to tell you, and I'd really like to call and talk to you about it.
Hey, Paul, I'm sorry, I would call, but there are other patients in the room with me and I don't want to be rude. But I can text, no problem, so if you want, you can just tell me through that.
Yeah, okay. I guess I can just type it all out for you if you prefer that.
It's not a problem with me, so what is this big news that you wanted to tell me?
Well, I'm really sorry to be telling you this while you're in the hospital, but the wedding is off. I'm officially calling off our engagement.
Wait, so you don't want to get married to me anymore? But why? Why are you doing this now? I don't get it.
Well, you see, the thing is that I just can't be married to an irresponsible girl like you. You really have no idea just how furious my parents were with you. So I'm sorry, but I just really don't know how we could ever make things work between us. That's why we have to break up.
You've got to be kidding me, right? Please tell me that you're not being serious.
I'm sorry, but it's the way things have to be. You just made such a poor impression on my parents that I don't know how we're ever supposed to recover from this. And so I just really can't see our wedding going well at all. All we'd end up doing is hurting each other. You understand that, right? It would just be better if we called it here before we cause each other many more pain than we have now.
Paul, I think I should let you know that your parents are here right now apologizing to me and asking after me. So I really don't get what you mean when you say they're upset.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Are my parents really over there right now? What are you talking about?
If you think that I'm lying to you, why don't you try calling your dad right now? Or your mom, either one, since they're both here with me now.
Hold on a second. I'm confused. What's going on here? Why on earth are my parents over there with you right now?
Well, I messaged your mom the other day and told her about what happened. You do know that we have each other's numbers, don't you?
Of course I know that. But what I don't understand is why my parents are there visiting you in the hospital.
Well, your parents wanted to come and apologize to me in your place. So they're here, in front of the other patients that I'm sharing the room with, checking in on me and apologizing for you. They're talking about how sorry they are that their son is such an idiot and how they're disappointed in you.
But I don't get it. You're still not telling me what I want to know. Why are my parents there? What are they apologizing for? If anyone should be sorry, it should be you. You're the one who ruined our schedule that day, not anyone else.
Are you really sure about that? There's nothing that comes to mind about what they could be doing here?
Of course not. You're the only one who did something wrong. We were all waiting at the house for you to show up, and you never did.
Paul, I know it was you. You were the one who pushed me down the stairs, and I've already gone to the police about it.
You went to the police?
That's right, and that's why your parents are here. They are apologizing for you and also begging for me to retract my report. Which I won't, of course.
But I don't get it. Why are you doing this to me? I didn't even do anything. You're just accusing me of things that I never did.
We both know that isn't true. You were there at the subway when I was there.
What are you talking about? Of course I wasn't. Why would you even think something like that? I was at my parents' house the whole time waiting for you to show up.
No, you were at the station and you were the one who knocked me down the stairs. We both know the truth, so just admit it.
What are you talking about? You're crazy, do you know that? You can't just accuse me of this.
But you were the one who did it. You pushed me on my back and caused me to fall down the stairs.
Are you sure you didn't hit your head or something when you fell? Because you were just sounding crazy. Of course I didn't do anything like that.
Yes, you did, and there are several witnesses who saw you running away from the station afterwards.
Oh yeah? Like who? Who are these witnesses of yours who you've convinced to lie about me?
Well, there's the owner of my apartment building, for one. He was there at the station when we both were. I'm pretty sure that you've met him at least once, haven't you?
No, you're wrong. He probably just saw someone that looked like me, but it really wasn't me. It can't have been.
No, there is no doubt about it at all. It was definitely you. The police even looked at some camera footage from the area and they saw a figure resembling you running away as well.
So it just resembled me and that's enough evidence for them to arrest me? Please, you have to give me a break. Tell me it wasn't me.
I'm afraid that I can't do that. But what I don't get is why you would do this when your parents didn't even know about me.
What do you mean by that? I still don't understand.
I mean that your parents told me that they had no idea that I was even going to be coming over to see them today at all. They didn't have any idea that we were supposed to be going to their house to make our big announcement. You never told them about any of it at all, did you? And that's why you forced me into a spot where I would have to cancel at the last second.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe you really did hit your head when you fell because you just sound insane.
Don't you dare talk to me like that, Paul. You know what you did. I knew that you were acting strangely when I told you that I fell. You didn't seem surprised or concerned for me at all. It was as if you already knew that I had been injured.
But I really didn't do anything.
You can deny it all you want, but that isn't going to change the fact that the police are after you now.
Please, you have to tell them it was a mistake.
Do you really think that I'm going to do that? Give me a break. I don't care how much you offered to pay me off with. I want justice. You will be punished for this.
You can't be serious. Please don't do this to me.
I hope they take you out of the house in handcuffs.
But what happens if my job hears about this?
Oh, I'm sure they will, especially when you don't show up for work because you're in jail. I guess this means you can kiss that cushy career of yours down the drain. And I can't imagine any big company would ever want to work with you again. You're finished.
Please, you can't do this to me. You're really going to try and ruin my life over this?
That's right. But you should know that even your parents just tried to bribe me with some cash, but I turned them down.
I don't get it. How can my parents just be going along with this? I mean, there's not even any proof.
I told your mom all about what had happened, and when I told her I had witnesses, that was enough to get her to believe me. That's why they came over right away to beg for mercy for you.
I don't believe it. That just means that my mom really did just accept that that's something I could have done.
I guess that just goes to show everyone things about you, really. I was talking to your mom about this, and she told me all about how violent you would get when you were younger. And how this isn't the first time that you've injured people, even ex-girlfriends. Your mom told me that she thought you were going to bring that last girl over to announce an engagement as well.
But we just ended up fighting too much, and I knew that I needed a way to get out of the relationship.
Yes, and then that time your parents had to go and visit her and pay her off as well.
This can't be happening to me. This isn't fair.
But I guess now I understand why you were treating me the way you were. This is just a pattern to you.
I wasn't treating you like anything. You were the one who was treating me poorly.
You treated me like I was someone you could just brush off, not like your fiancé. That's why we got into so many fights, not to mention the affairs you were having behind my back.
Affairs? Come on now. You know that I wasn't doing anything like that. You're crazy.
You know, I might just have a little more respect for you if you could at least admit that you've done all of this. We already all know the truth. Why can't you just be honest with me and yourself? Anyways, you should know that you are going to have to pay all the cancellation fees for our wedding plan. After all, it's all your fault that the wedding is being called off.
Okay, all right. I'll be honest with you. The truth is that I met another woman a few weeks ago, and that's why I had to get rid of you.
So the truth finally comes out.
But I knew that things would go bad if you found out, so that's why I had to get rid of you. It was also I can marry this girl who I really love.
I do appreciate you being honest with me now. Maybe your new girlfriend can help you pay down all of the money you're going to owe me. Unless she was also in on this, in that case, I'm afraid you both might be liable for the crime.
No, she had nothing to do with this. Don't drag her into this too.
I guess that's really a matter for the police to decide then, isn't it? They'll know if she did have anything to do with it.
I swear that she didn't really do anything. Why did you have to get my parents and now her involved in all this?
I didn't get them involved in anything. You were the one doing all of the acting in this. I hope they throw you in jail, though.
You're horrible. Do you know that?
Says the person who pushed me down the stairs. After that, the police interviewed other witnesses and finally decided to arrest Paul. They gave him a sentence of 2 years in jail, which spelled out the death of his career. After he got out, he became a shut-in who hardly ever left his apartment. He was worried that people would recognize him and talk behind his back, but I say that it serves him right. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this. Hey there, Eric. I wasn't sure if you knew this or not, but the anniversary of your dad's death is going to be next month. Did you have any plans to do anything about it? Would you mind if I went to go and stay with you?
Oh, hey, Mom. Sorry for not talking about this with you earlier. I just want to let you know that I was going to go back home on that day. But Linda and Jack aren't going to be able to tag along, so it's just going to be me.
Oh, really? And here I thought I was finally going to get to spend some time with those two. Are they okay? Why won't they be able to come with you?
Yeah, she's fine. She just isn't feeling great at the moment is all.
Oh my, and you don't even think she'll feel better by next month? Are you really sure that she's okay?
Yeah, I'm sure, Mom. I'm sure if we went to go and see a doctor, they would just say she has low blood sugar or something like that. I mean, you know Linda. She's always been a bit trial.
I suppose you're right about this. And this year the summer has just been unbearable, don't you think? I'm sure that she's feeling even more worn out than usual with all that.
Yeah, although thankfully, it's already starting to cool down. That's good at least.
I know, but sometimes that kind of fatigue can really sneak up on you and take a while to recover from. But if your wife is really feeling so bad that you don't think she would even be able to visit, then maybe I should go to you after all. In fact, I just know that if I went over to your house more often, I could make her feel better. Maybe I could start coming over weekly until Linda starts to feel better. I could help take care of Jack so that she can concentrate on feeling better.
I really don't think we need that, Mom. I'm already doing all that I can for them from here, so I think that we're going to be fine. Besides, if you came over, well, I just don't think Linda would even be able to rest. She'd just feel bad that you were doing all that for her.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose that does make sense. But if you ever need any help at all, just let me know. I mean, I know that her parents died when she was quite young, so I just want you to know that you can ask me for help.
Great. Thank you so much, Mom. That means a lot. But I'm sure that it would be a pain for you to come all the way here as well. I mean, even on the freeway, it's at least a 2-hour drive, right?
That sounds about right, but it's not like I can't even drive anymore. I may be your mother, but I'm not some geezer.
I know, but well, I think the old people always think they're okay to drive until they're not. So just take care of yourself, okay?
I don't need my son to tell me how to drive, thank you very much. I've already told myself that I'm going to turn in my license once my eyesight starts to go. But I'm just saying that I haven't seen Linda or my grandson in a few months now, and I really would like to spend some time with them.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait for Linda to recover a bit more before we can really make that happen. Just take things slow and don't rush this, or else Linda is never going to feel better, okay?
Do you really think so? Well, I suppose maybe I can send over something to try and make her feel better.
Sure. If you want to send a package or something like that, that's fine. But just don't say anything about Linda being sick, okay? I know that she wants as few people as possible worrying about her.
Well, if she really is feeling as bad as you say, I really would like to talk to her just for a little bit.
I really don't think that is a good idea. Not right now, anyways. There's just a lot going on around the house, and we really barely have any time for ourselves. I really want you to just hold off on doing anything like that.
I see, but Eric, I'm just curious. Do you think that whatever this is mental and not physical?
I really don't know. The doctors seem to think that it's more in Linda's head. But don't tell her I said that to you.
Well, I can understand. Of course, I would never tell her that you said that. But I am still worried. I've really come to like that young lady and even think of her as a daughter, so I guess it's only natural I should be so worried. So, anyways, if there ever is anything that I can do for her, please just let me know. I really do want to help if I can.
Thank you so much, Mom. I'm sure that Linda would be delighted to hear just how much you care about her, but I think that for now, the best thing to do is just let her rest.
I suppose you are right about that. If space is what Linda needs, then that is what I'll give her. Just tell her that I said hi and that I'm thinking of her, and tell her not to worry about missing the memorial for your dad.
1 month later.
Hey, Eric, are you there? I was just thinking of some things that all 4 of us could do together if I went over there to visit.
You mean you want to come and visit us here? What do you mean by that? You're not actually planning on coming, are you?
I mean, I could if you just said that it was a good time to. I don't really have much going on and would be happy to work with your schedule.
I really don't think that's a good idea, Mom. It's just not going to work right now.
Don't tell me that Linda is still feeling awful. You know, if she still hasn't gotten any better, then I am just a bit worried for her. I tried to visit her earlier to drop off that fruit basket, but she seemed cold. I don't know. I felt like I wasn't even supposed to be there. It was all pretty confusing.
Okay, Mom. I know this might be hard for you to take, but I have to tell you the truth.
What are you talking about? What truth? What haven't you been telling me, Eric?
The truth is that Linda just really doesn't like spending time with you all that much.
And that's why she didn't want to have to go to the memorial for your dad?
That's right. I'm really, really sorry for misleading before, but I just didn't want to hurt your feelings. But I know that lying to you only made you more worried about her, so I'm sorry that I did it.
I see. Well, this is really quite a surprise. I wasn't expecting this at all.
I know, and I'm really sorry that you had to find out this way. But the thing is that Linda really isn't the type of woman that you think she is. And every time you've come over, she's just been putting on an act to be polite to you. But that's why you need to quit asking if you can come over. It's just never going to be a good time, okay?
And here I thought that the two of us were going to be able to get along together.
Mom, please, be real. When has a woman ever gotten along with her mother-in-law? And you know how headstrong Linda can be. She knows what she wants. She doesn't like to compromise. I mean, she's supposed to be stay-at-home, but she hardly ever does anything around the house.
Oh, really? Wow, I never really thought of her as that kind of person.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You never even got to know the real her, so you're not missing out on much, okay? In fact, I really think that it's in both of your best interests not to spend time with each other. The truth is that if Linda ever did try to be friends with you, I would guess it just had to do with the fact that you had all that inheritance from Dad.
You really think that's why she would want anything to do with me? And here I thought that she was always so kind. I really am taken aback by this. I expected so much more of her.
Well, I think Linda just knows how to trick people. I mean, I think she certainly tricked me into doing things before. But, anyways, I think you should just forget all about the fact that I have a wife. She really isn't even worth wasting your time on.
Eric, this is your wife that we're talking about. I can't just forget all about her. Besides, does that mean that you think things aren't going that well between the two of you?
What makes you say that? Why would you think things aren't going well?
Well, because of the way that you're talking about her to me. You're making her sound like some total villain here. I mean, is this all true, or are you just saying this so that I stop asking to come around so often?
Look, Mom, I really didn't want to be the one to break this to you, but I saw how much you were worrying and I felt really bad. I know this isn't what you wanted to hear, but it's the truth, okay?
Well, I understand it perfectly fine. If Linda's only ever going to be putting on a mask when she interacts with me, then I won't ever bother going over.
Please don't be mad at Linda for this, though. It really isn't her fault.
Oh, I'm not mad at all. If anything, I'm just sad about all of this.
I really am sorry that you had to find out like this, Mom. You have to believe me there.
I know you are, and you should know that I'm not mad at you at all, Eric. I mean, you can't really expect all of the people to like you all of the time, right? But I suppose now that I know Linda isn't actually sick, that's a relief at least.
You really are too kind for your own good sometimes. Do you know that, Mom?
You really think so? I'm just trying to show her the kindness that I would expect from anyone, but maybe this is just something that comes with age. It's not that I'm not sad, but I just understand what she wants out of me, and I'm going to respect that.
I am just really sorry things had to end up this way. I know this isn't how you wanted them to go.
I mean, I really am just a little surprised is all. After all, the two of you have been married for 10 years now. I really never thought that you two had any serious problems between each other, but as long as you say the problem isn't too bad, then that's all that matters for me.
Thank you so much for being understanding about this, Mom.
Of course, it really isn't a problem, although I really would like to spend more time with little Jack, you know.
Right. Yes. Of course. You can see Jack, no problem. That's fine with me. We'll set up something soon. I promise.
Sounds good to me, Eric. Thank you. You just make sure that things are okay at home first.
Hello, Grandma? Are you there right now?
Grandma? Wait a second. Is this little Jack? How are you doing? It's been so long since the two of us last saw each other. Are you texting me from your mom's phone right now?
Grandma, please. You have to help me.
What do you mean? What help do you need? What's going on?
It's my mom. She's bleeding from her head. You have to help me right now. I don't know what to do.
Hold on a second, your mom is bleeding from her head? What in the world happened? Are you okay?
It was Dad. He did this to my mom.
Your dad did this to your mom? Are you sure about that? But I don't understand. Why would your father do something like that to her?
Well, Mom and Dad were fighting since this morning. Then Dad hit Mom on the head before he went to work. Mom was saying she was okay, but then she fell on the ground.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for telling me all of that. I'm going to be over there as soon as I can. I'm also going to call an ambulance to your house. So, when you hear the doorbell ring, check if it's the paramedics. If it is, then let them in the house and show them where your mom is. Do you think you'll be able to get in the ambulance with your mom when they come?
I think I can do that. I have to be with Mom while she's like this, right?
That's right, but you're going to be okay. We're going to get her help as soon as we can, okay? You just need to hang on for a little bit longer and be there for your mom.
Hey, Mom, are you there? Did you call me? What is it? What do you want?
Eric, do you have anything that you want to say to me right now?
Do I have anything that I want to say to you? Like what? What do you even mean by that? I've already told you about what's going on between Linda and I, so I don't really think there's anything else to talk about.
And you are absolutely sure about that, Eric?
Yeah, of course I am. What is all this about anyways, Mom?
So you're really just going to play dumb about all of this then? Is that right? I know that you hit Linda, didn't you, Eric?
Mom, what on earth are you talking about? You know that I would never ever do that.
Tell me, Eric, do you have any idea where I am right now?
Well, when you ask it like that, it makes me guess that you're not at home. But don't tell me you're at my house.
No, I'm not at either of our houses. I'm actually at the hospital right now.
You're at the hospital? But what are you doing at a place like that?
Well, Linda was bleeding from her head, so we had to take her there. Although you were the one that did that to her, weren't you? I know that you two were fighting this morning and that before you went to work, you hit her, didn't you?
Mom, wait. You've got this all wrong. I swear. This whole thing is Linda's fault. She was hiding money from me, and that's what we were fighting about. She said some horrible things to me. All I did was push her a little, I swear.
If that's all you did, then how is it she ended up bleeding from her head? I know the truth. Jack called me. If you had hit Linda just a little more strongly, or if she had bumped into anything, then the results could have been really bad.
Mom, I'm really sorry. I really didn't mean for it to turn into something big like this. I guess I just got a little upset is all. What hospital are you all at right now? I'll leave work and head over there right now.
We don't want you here at all, Eric, but you should know that Linda is going to divorce you.
Wait just a second. What happened this morning wasn't on purpose, you know? Please, tell Linda that I'm sorry and this is all an accident. I really didn't want you to get wrapped up in our drama, Mom.
Well, it's a good thing I did, or else something even worse might have happened in the future. Because as I understand it, this has been going on for some time now, hasn't it?
That's not true.
Well, that's not what your son has to say about it.
You mean you're really going to trust him over me?
Even your wife says that what Jack told me is true.
But it's not. I'm telling you, none of it's true. They're both lying about me.
And just why would they need to do that?
Well, that's because things haven't been going well at home. They're just trying to bully me.
Eric, you know that I already heard the full story from Linda, right? I know all about how you were having an affair with another mom from Jack's school.
You mean she even mentioned that to you? Why would she do something like that?
Is that why you started hitting her? Because she found out that you were cheating on her? It's a good thing I know about this so I can keep them far away from you. You're just horrible. How could you do this to your own wife, Eric?
Please, Mom. This is just one big misunderstanding. I swear. There was no cheating. I just happened to run into this lady while I was out with Jack. But we just talked, and that's it.
Oh, please, you really think that I buy that? You think that Linda would be this mild if it was true? I know that you were out cheating on her yesterday, but I bet that you didn't know you were being filmed.
You mean that there's evidence of what I was doing? I had no idea that I was being watched.
Oh, I think that you did. Or at least you thought that you were, and that's why you decided to hit Linda.
Mom, you're taking all of this way too far right now.
Linda already told me about how you were demanding to see her phone, and when she refused, that was when you hit her. But you still didn't get her phone, and she even showed me the evidence that she'd been collecting.
You're kidding me.
Not only that, but she showed me all the photos of the bruises that you had left on her before. You're just awful.
Mom, please, you don't get it. This is all just one big misunderstanding. I swear. You really don't have the full story.
I'm almost scared to ask what the whole story might even be at this point. But no matter what the truth is, I can't forgive you for hitting Linda and exposing your own son to this violence. All that tells me is that you are a terrible husband and father. And after all the lying to me, you're a terrible son as well. Whatever Linda decides to do, I hope she makes you sorry for what you did. After that, Linda took some time to recover in the hospital before she began to deal with Eric. She talked to the hospital on the woman who Eric was having an affair with, and both couples began the divorce process. Thankfully for Linda and the husband of the woman Eric was sleeping with, they both got custody of their children. Then the two cheaters were left with nothing but the large legal bills from the lawsuit for their affair and child support. In the end, Eric tried to beg for forgiveness, but nobody was listening to the words that he had to say. Even soft-spoken Linda said that she was never going to forgive him for what he had done to her and her son. She even requested during the divorce that a restraining order be placed on Eric for their safety. During the divorce proceedings, Jack was asked to tell the judge what he had seen his dad do to his mom, and I don't think there was a single dry eye in the entire room. Everyone was shocked to learn the extent of how Eric treated his wife behind closed doors. It was only then that I realized he was lying to me about her not wanting to be around me. I realized that this was all just a ploy of Eric's to keep Linda isolated so that nobody would ever learn about what he was doing to her. I almost believed him too and was ready to write off ever having a relationship with my daughter-in-law until Jack told me all about what had happened during that conversation when his mom had collapsed. Still, I am just so scared to even think of what might have happened if Linda had been hit a little harder or hit her head just a little bit differently. Just thinking of Jack at home all alone with his mom like that, it was enough to send shivers down my spine thinking of what could have been. Thankfully, both Jack and Linda are safe now. Rumors of what Eric had done began to fly around his office, so he decided to pack up his life and move to another state. The only time Linda ever hears from him now is when his child support checks arrive in the mail. Though they almost never talk, Linda does get news about what Eric is up to through what few mutual friends they have and other grapevines of gossip that she's connected to. Apparently Eric was so ashamed of the rumors about him that were getting passed around his office, he even stopped showing up to work for a whole week before anyone noticed that he had disappeared entirely. Of course, because Eric never quit his job properly, there was no way he could ever use his past career as a reference in his life. Whatever that is. Because of that, Linda told me that Eric had to move into a tiny apartment all by himself and is now working several part-time jobs just to make ends meet. It doesn't sound like a pleasant life, but as long as he earns enough to keep up with the child support, I don't really care at all about how he's doing. As for me, I decided to cut Eric out of my life in light of what I had found out about him. I had no idea where he's living or what he's doing to make ends meet, and honestly, I prefer to keep it that way. Linda and I, on the other hand, are much closer now than we have ever been before. We had each thought that we were hated by the other person, only to realize that we were both being lied to by the same person. Realizing this, we made more of an effort to spend time with each other and got to know each other. Now, thanks to that, I also get to spend much more time with my amazing little grandson, Jack. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.